Well, whatever else you want to say about the left, they're not like the right. They don't sit around and talk about stuff forever. They just do it, right or wrong, usually wrong, but they move quick. Last year, the left targeted the nation's remaining Confederate statues for demolition. Was no vote on this anywhere ever. Sometimes they just destroyed the statues with mob violence. They got away with it, of course. Now they picked a new target, any statue that offends anybody in power. In Arcata, California, in the northern part of the state, a statue of President William McKinley is going to be torn down on the grounds that he pursued policies harmful to Native Americans. Of course he did. So did Abraham Lincoln. So, of course, we await Lincoln's monument's dynamiting. Not really, but you never know. Paul Patino is on the Arcata City Council. He voted for the removal of McKinley's statue. He joins us tonight. Paul, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So, you know, I'm not for tearing statues down without a vote, but of all the people whose statue you could tear down, why McKinley?
It's the only one we got.
Okay, good answer. But, I mean, here you have a guy who joined the Union Army at 18 to fight the Confederacy, spent, you know, years in battle. I don't think he has a reputation as a particularly cruel guy. He himself was a victim of gun violence, as you know. Why are you picking on him?
Well, I think if you look at all the stuff about him, see, you just mentioned a couple of things, but there's tons of other stuff about this guy. And when you take the totality of everything he was responsible for and what happened during his presidency, you look at it and you go, okay, positive, negative. If today I was offered that statue as a city councilman, I'd say, no, thank you. So basically, I'm correcting a 112-year-old error of judgment.
Well, I don't know if that's your place. I mean, you didn't put the statue there. Are you having a town-wide vote on this?
Here's what's happening. The city council 112 years or so ago decided to put it there, and the city council has the power to remove it. If indeed the citizens don't want that to happen, we have referendum and initiative here in California that happens constantly, and so it can be simply 1,000 signatures and be on the ballot.
Well, why don't you just let them vote anyway? I mean, you don't have to wait for them to do that. But hold on. I just wonder how you would feel. Let's say there's a Paul Patino statue. I hope, obviously, there never is. But let's say there was. How would you like to be assessed on every bad thing you did? I'm sure you've done good things. I'm positive you've done some pretty bad things. I can just tell. How would you like it if people said, we got to tear this statue down? He was flawed. I mean, shouldn't we be a little more forgiving than that of people?
Let me say this. I don't think any human being deserves a statue. We're all equals. I think it's a mistake to put statues up for humans. You know, Statue of Liberty, it works because that's not a human, okay? It's a replica or a stylized person. When you put up a human, you're always going to have a problem. No matter what human, whether it's Mussolini or whoever, it's a problem.
I have to say, I wasn't expecting you to say that. You're kind of winning me over a little bit with that argument because I think that's actually true, and we shouldn't be worshiping politicians. Even the good ones are not that good. So I kind of agree. And I'm sure we don't agree on anything other than that. But I don't think that's a dumb point at all. Kind of an Islamic point, but still a pretty good point. But since his statue's up there, and no one living made the decision to put it there, you have to make an affirmative decision to take it down. And by doing that, aren't you really saying, you know, his sins outweigh the good things that he did? I mean, he was a good president. He fought against slavery. I mean, can we ask any more? And by the way, as I said, he was a victim of gun violence. Shouldn't that give him a pass?
You know, I totally see the good points and I see the bad points. And I, as a elected official, a representative of the people in the town, I have to say, go deep inside and look at what would I do if I was faced with this any other time. And 13 years ago, it came before us before. And we didn't have a majority, so it stayed. This time, 13 years later, it came up again, and we had a majority, and so our majority voted for it to leave.
Have you guys solved all the problems in your town other than this? Is it like literally a utopia?
Hey, look, you know, nobody solves all the problems.
No, but I mean, you have like no crimes, and nobody has ever double parked, and no one's ever gotten divorced, and like, do you know what I mean? Nobody chews microwave burritos over Brussels sprouts. Like, you've got it all figured out. So like in your spare time, you're going to tear down a McKinley statue. Is that pretty much what's going on?
No, that's an opinion. Let me put it this way. You know, as a city councilman, I have to cover everything. This is just one item. I don't like wasting a lot of time on it. It's come to us before. It came before I even lived here, this issue. And it's like, okay, let's stop wasting time on it. I'm willing to take the freight. I'll make the decision to make that motion to move that thing so that we can be done with it and move on and not waste any more time.
All right.
So yeah, I really don't like wasting time about it.
Okay. Well, I disagree with you, but I do think you make a good point about not worshiping people. I'm with you on that. Councilman, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.